Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. I'm your host, Barbara, and I'm glad you're joining me today. We're starting off with a developing story from the Middle East, where tensions continue to rise in the Gaza Strip. According to reports, Hamas has ordered a clan leader in Gaza to surrender, accusing him of treason. Yasser Abu Shabab, the leader of a well-armed Bedouin clan, has been given 10 days to turn himself in and face trial. The Hamas-run Interior Ministry in Gaza made the announcement, citing a revolutionary court decision. The ministry alleges that Abu Shabab has been looting UNAID trucks and is backed by Israel, which he denies. Abu Shabab's group claims they are protecting humanitarian aid from looting and have no ties to Israel. This development comes as the Gaza Strip continues to grapple with a deepening humanitarian crisis. The conflict between Hamas and Israel has resulted in significant loss of life, displacement, and destruction of infrastructure. Over 56,000 Palestinians have been killed, and nearly 2.3 million people have been displaced. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump is set to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on July 7 to discuss the Gaza ceasefire and the situation in Iran. The meeting comes after Trump urged Hamas to accept a final proposal for a 60-day Gaza ceasefire. We'll continue to monitor this situation and bring you updates as more information becomes available. It's essential to approach this story with nuance and understanding, recognizing the complexities of the conflict and the diverse perspectives involved. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're glad you're still with us as we dive into the latest developments from around the world. Our middle segment today takes a closer look at the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and the recent halt in U.S. arms shipments to the country. As reported by various news outlets, including the Moscow Times and the New York Times, the White House has announced that it will pause deliveries of key weapons previously promised to Ukraine. This move has been met with concern from Ukrainian officials, who stress that any delay or reduction in military aid would only embolden Russia to continue its aggression. The Kremlin, on the other hand, has welcomed this decision, with spokesperson Dmitry Peskov stating that reduced military support for Kyiv would bring Russia closer to its goals in the war. This development comes at a critical time for Ukraine, which has suffered weeks of heavy Russian bombardment and is ceding ground on the front line. It's essential to note that the U.S. has been a significant supporter of Ukraine throughout the conflict, providing billions of dollars in military aid. The decision to halt arms shipments has sparked debate among experts, with some arguing that it could undermine Ukraine's ability to defend itself, while others see it as an opportunity for diplomatic efforts to take center stage. As we continue to monitor this situation, it's crucial to consider the perspectives of all parties involved and the potential implications of this decision on the ongoing conflict. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments and providing updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we encourage our listeners to stay informed and engaged on this critical issue. The situation in Ukraine is complex and multifaceted, and it's essential to approach it with nuance and understanding. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're wrapping up today's show with a story that's been making waves in the art world. You may recall that earlier this year, Australian artist Khaled Sababi and curator Michael D'Agostino were selected to represent Australia at the 2026 Venice Biennale. However, their appointment was short-lived, as Creative Australia's board revoked their contract just days later, citing concerns about a divisive debate surrounding two of Sabi's historical artworks. The decision sparked widespread criticism and condemnation from the artistic community, with many calling for the duo's reinstatement. And now, in a surprising turn of events, Creative Australia has announced that it is reinstating Sabi and D'Agostino as the artistic team for the 2026 Venice Biennale. This move comes after an independent external review found that while the board had not breached any laws or regulations, there were indeed missteps, assumptions, and missed opportunities in the selection process. The review highlighted a lack of preparedness within Creative Australia to handle potential controversy surrounding the appointment, as well as unresolved tensions within the organization about its roles and stakeholders. Despite this, the report concluded that the decision to reinstate Sabi and D'Agostino is a step towards rebuilding trust with the creative community. It's worth noting that this saga has raised important questions about artistic freedom, censorship, and the role of funding bodies in supporting the arts. While some have argued that Creative Australia's initial decision was an overreaction, others have praised the organization for taking a cautious approach to avoiding controversy. Ultimately, the reinstatement of Sabi and D'Agostino is a victory for artistic expression and a testament to the power of community advocacy. As we close out today's show, we encourage our listeners to engage with the arts and support artists who are pushing boundaries and challenging societal norms. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay engaged.